Hi folks, James here. I'm the CTO and a co-founder of ManageFlitter. I just wanted to walk you through a few of the changes made to the Pro version recently. We've just pushed out a whole lot of updates, and a few people have been asking for a tutorial video, so here you go. I just did another brief video for the free version, and those changes are obviously relevant to the Pro version, so go check that one out if you're interested. The first thing you notice is that these pages load a whole lot faster. If you've been using the system for a while, you might have got used to this loading bar appearing up the top here. Fortunately, that should be gone most of the time. I won't go too much into the details of how we did that, but we made quite a few technical changes, made some fundamental re-architecture decisions, and it's just created a system that we can scale and deliver to all our users a lot more quickly. And as you can see here, I can do all my sorting and ordering, and it just shows up pretty much instantaneously. So yeah, we're pretty happy with that. As for the new features, if I just go into the whitelist here, you can see a few things we've added here. We've added ways to update your whitelist using Twitter lists. So I can go in here and I can see all my lists I've got on Twitter. So I can select one of these and add them to my whitelist, or I can remove from my whitelist. I can also add single users. So I could type an account here, like Twitter, and immediately add Twitter to my whitelist. Another thing is on the whitelist tab, you can see I've got both people I currently follow and don't follow. So Twitter, for example, I'm not following, and when I click on it, it comes up in the follow one selected. As for Seth MacFarlane, I am following him, and so he comes up under the unfollow tab. And this changes system-wide. Previously it was all over the place. Sometimes it wouldn't show you people if you couldn't unfollow them, or it had them disabled. Now you can basically select everybody on a page, and depending on whether you're following them or not, it will either allocate them to the follow tab or the unfollow tab. And in the quick edit it's the same here. So I select everybody. You can see everybody else on the page I'm currently following, but for Twitter I'm not. It's highlighted in blue. And so that just makes everything a bit more consistent across the system, easier to use, all that kind of stuff. Everything else works the same way it used to on the Pro tab, on the Unfollow tab. Pro mode is now called Ninja mode, just because people were getting a bit confused between the Pro system at large and just this feature. But it still works the same way it used to. Now move over to the Follow tab and show you the new features there. So we made quite a lot of updates to the Follow tab. We've changed a few of the icons, added a whole bunch of new features. So we've got the good old you don't follow back, and these are all the people who I follow, who I'm not following back. You can also now look at the verified people that you don't follow back. So I've got a few here, export support, Brittany, that kind of stuff, I can follow them. And obviously popular people as well, who I'm not following back. Another cool feature that we've just added really recently is this copy followers or following, and in here you can put in the username of pretty much anybody. So I could put in Jack, one of the co-founders of Twitter, Evan, and so it brings up everybody who he follows, and then I can very quickly sort of select them and follow them, and I can look through them and segment them. So yeah, it's just a very quick way to sort of build up your user list. And so you can copy either the followers or the following from anybody. We've had quite a few requests for this one, so let us know if you've got any feedback, any other changes you might suggest to the feature. We've got the good old everyone you follow. And so now with the new UI, you can see on the right hand side here, I can do things like show the followers of everybody I follow, so I can see the people with the most followers in that list. I can order this by the order that they followed me. So it's kind of cool. I can see sort of the first person who followed me, the second person, third person, that kind of stuff. So we just added a bit more power to the Follow tab and just a whole bunch of new options and ways to sort of segment your user list. The good old TweetAdder, just a note here to say it's moved, is now over in the Search tab. I'll just jump past letter search for a sec and show you tweet search again. So tweet search works pretty much the way it's always worked. You can put in a keyword and a location and it will bring up all the people, but now with the new UI you can see the number of followers they have when you change the ordering, all that kind of fun stuff. On the Flitter search, I talk about this a bit more detail in the free video, but I'll just briefly mention this as well. This is quite a powerful tool for pro users because you don't have the limits on following people. You can, very quickly build up your Twitter list by finding relevant people, selecting them in bulk, and then basically sort of segmenting that list, looking through them, unfollowing people who aren't relevant, that kind of stuff. And so it's a very, very quick way to find relevant people to follow and add them to your list. And then obviously you can go and unfollow them or segment them later on, all that kind of stuff. So I'll jump across to the new post tabs. This is another new feature set that we have. It's called Power Post. Power Post, it lets you basically it lets you basically post at the optimal time for your followers. Sorry, I just got a bit of bad connection here. So basically, what it does is it brings up this timeline here. And this timeline is showing when all my followers are on Twitter. And so currently it's showing over the next day. And so I can see in my time, the best time to tweet would be 9 AM tomorrow. I can quickly expand this out and I can click add a few more days, and so I can show over the whole next week. And over the next week, the optimal time is going to be 9 AM Wednesday. And so this UI, the intention is, there we go, little video peeps. The UI is basically there to sort of let you make very quick decisions about the best time. So, a lot of these automatic posting systems, they kind of make decisions for you. But, I know myself, Thursday might not be a good day, Friday's a slightly better day because of what else I'm tweeting. So I can very quickly see that there's a peak on Friday as well, and I can just go ahead and schedule that tweet right now. Some other stuff we can do with the system is we can add locations. So I could add in, say I wanted to send a tweet that was targeted at people in New York. I can very quickly add it to this interface, and you can see here it's showing up on this chart. And so I can see the optimal time to tweet to somebody in New York would be 4 AM Thursday my time. And yeah, this is sort of the whole new UI, and so I can see here I click on explain and it shows me where it's targeting, and so I can see that is New York, is what I expected. If I go back to showing when all my followers are on Twitter, we have this nice explain tab here, and this actually gives you a pretty cool distribution of where your followers are in the world. And so I can see I have quite a lot of followers here in Sydney, a few over in the US, I've got some in sort of the London time zone, and so it's quite a nice breakdown of sort of where people are and how your account is distributed. And I could add things like my top 100 followers as well, so that's a slightly different list. And so for me this list is over more in the US, because more of my US followers have more other followers and more of my Australian followers don't. So yeah, that's kind of sort of some of the new features. Hopefully soon we'll be adding metrics on engagement, so when you get the most replies and retweets as well. Yeah, the system's all working and running, and let us know what you think. We're going to continue updating it based on your feedback. Obviously you can schedule other tweets here. I can override this time and set another specific time in the future. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's just a sort of a new way to schedule tweets in the future. Lastly, I'll just go over to the Analytics tab. The Analytics tab used to be called Track. So all the stuff you used to be able to do on the Track tab is still there. It just looks a little bit nicer now. So basically it's showing me people who have unfollowed me here. It's got the time here, and I can still go through here now and I can follow them back or unfollow them if I am following them. And we've still got the graph over here, which shows basically the distribution over time of when people unfollowed you and how that's trending. So you can see I followed a whole bunch of people yesterday. The other thing I'm just going to do is I'm going to give you a sneak peek of an upcoming feature. It's called Tweet Analytics, and we're just putting some finishing touches to it now. Basically what it does is it lets you monitor keywords over time. So in here I've got ManageFlitter, and what I'm looking at is basically how ManageFlitter, how the volume of tweets in ManageFlitter has changed over time. And so I've been running it for a few months, and you can sort of see it trending upwards the way it is. And I can click on any point and basically bring up the tweets that contributed to that spike. So we've got a few things here like the total tweets seen, the average rate, the current rate. Another cool feature we've got here is tweet clusters. What tweet clusters do is they basically bring together sort of common tweets in the system, and so I can basically see the distribution of what's making up my viral traffic. And so I can see here that this tweet, ManageFlitter rocks, blah, 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 is this one in blue. I can click on it. And obviously we introduced this tweet into the system on, what's this date here, April 13th. And so that's when it, sorry, April 12th. And so that's when it started to take off. And we obviously changed, if I just click on this again, we changed, there were some other ones before here that used to be popular, but we cut those off the system and introduced new ones. And so basically it sort of gives you a nice way to sort of segment your virality basically and see what's working, what isn't. We also find it's quite a good way to sort of look at your competitors and find, what's bringing them traffic, bringing and what's driving their virality. And yeah, obviously Twitter's, or a lot of Twitter's data is public, so it sort of gives you a very unique insight that wouldn't be available on something like Google Analytics. You can't look at your analytics for your competitor, but you can look at your analytics. You can look at the tweets for your competitor. So I can look at other companies. Like I could look at Dropbox here. Okay, so I can see here the distribution of tweets for Dropbox. And so I can either look at that per hour or per day. So this will load here in a second. And so I can see here there's a few spikes. So there were like some spikes on 24th of May. And so I can quickly look at it and I can kind of drill down into that list and see what was driving that spike. And so obviously they've done a bit of promotion here, and it's just contributed to quite a viral bump in their traffic. And so this is quite a good thing to look at for keywords and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be releasing this in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, and we'll be looking forward to your feedback on that as well. If you've got any other suggestions for pro features, anything else we can do, any questions about what we've rolled out now, feedback, all that kind of stuff, shoot us an email, or send us a tweet, or respond to our blog post. Thanks.